Marie Kayali, good morning, and welcome to the programme. Good to have you on the show. Right, tell me, what happened to you?
Hello?
Hello, tell me, what happened to you?
When? I've had a lifetime of experiences since I was 3 years old, so it has escalated as I got older, so I've had various different experiences, so I can go into whichever one you want, or start wherever you want.
Well, let's start from the very beginning. You're 3 years old, what happened?
3 years old, I was constantly waking up in the night screaming. There was, I said there were people coming out of the wall to get me, and there was always 5 of them. I'd say there was 5 people coming to get me, but it was always put down to nightmares. Everyone would say, don't be silly, there's nothing there, go to bed. But I'd been terrified to go to bed most of my life, staying up late, not going to bed, not being on my own. I had a lot of that, but then when I was about 17, 18, my first boyfriend, I was staying over at his house one night. The parents were away, and something really awful happened. I didn't see it. I woke up to all this commotion in the house. It was like the doors were banging, everything was jumping off the ground. There was just loads of noise, and I woke up at that point and thought, what the hell, what's going on? My boyfriend was just sitting there in absolute shock, a shock on his face, staring into space. And eventually I went home, and I was scared. We thought it was a ghost, and I ran home, and Mum lived up the road. But eventually the next day, he said he saw aliens coming into the room, and he said he saw them perform experiments on me in the bed. And of course, at this stage, we were thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with him? He's completely lost his mind. And he was actually hospitalized. He was so bad, and they diagnosed him as a schizophrenic. And he's been in that hospital all his life. But still at that point, I was still totally unaware, thought he was nuts, forgot about the episode when I was young, put it down to those things, maybe dreams or whatever, but I remember them as people. I couldn't believe they were dreams, but it was put down to that. Then when I was 22, 23, I got married then. My ex-husband, we're divorced now, but his father was head of secret intelligence in Syria for over 40 years, and he was the ambassador to Syria as well, so he knew JFK and friends with Kissinger and all the rest of it. But when we had my daughter then, and the 3 of us, the next big episode we had was outside my flat. I live in Kensington in London. And it was just in central London. I'm in a busy area. We saw a huge white glow. It was like the moon had fallen down. It was huge, just opposite our window. And my daughter woke up screaming, actually, saying she felt everything moving, thought the building was falling down. So I ran in to see what was wrong with her. She wanted to sleep in my bed. We moved into my room, and a light actually came through the window like a laser and shot me in the eye. It didn't hurt, but it was like to get my attention. I thought, my God, what was that? When I looked out, I saw this thing and ran into my husband screaming, oh my God, look at this, because we were watching a movie. We went in bed when my daughter woke up. And that's all I remember. Next thing I remember, it was 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 hours of missing time, and I had no idea what happened. And I was head of finance at the time for a charity organisation, and I don't remember what happened for 6 weeks. I went to work as normal. I turned up as normal. Everyone saw me as normal. I had no recollection of anything until somebody one day at the office mentioned UFO, and it clicked. Oh my God!
So
and came home, and then we realised.
You had been abducted then in that period?
Oh yeah, I remember being on ships. I have memories now of being on ships. I've had scans with Dr. Lear in USA a couple of months ago at the UFO Congress, and they found 9 implants. But I have got photographs of that one sticking out of my eye, and I've got MRI scans with that lens over. It's like a camera lens over my eye. It's very clear.
What are the spaceships like?
I didn't put that there.
What are the spaceships like? What are the aliens like? What's your interaction with them been like?
It's very, very complicated because 1 minute, how it starts, it used to start off, I'd wake up, I'd hear a noise and wake up, open my eyes and scared to death, and you're paralysed in bed. And then you see some lights in the room, but you can only move your eyes, so you can't look everywhere because you're lying, sort of maybe looking up at the ceiling if you're lying on your back, like I sleep on my back. So you can't actually see everything, but you know there's somebody or something in the room, and next thing you know, it's morning, or you don't remember, and you've got all these marks on your body, and then eventually after a few days you start thinking little things coming to you, and eventually it does come back to you. And I've got vivid memories now of the beings were different. I've seen different beings, 3 different beings.
What do they look like? Just talk me through
Well, when that ship, the big one that my husband and my daughter saw, I got the memories back a few months later, and the beings I saw there, what I remember was I saw the ship, and then next thing I knew, this blue ball just like a bubble came out of the ceiling. I mean, it sounds totally unreal. I know it sounds unreal when I'm telling people, but this is what happened. And I have to say it, I'm not a mental patient as they made it out to be on TV. I mean, they covered all the evidence basically on that documentary, and that's another story completely.
Let me just ask you that question, because that's the same question I was going to leave until the end, but I'm going to ask you it now.
Okay.
Your own assessment, please, which is always something that's very dangerous to ask somebody who's presenting signs of being mentally unstable. Yeah. But are you with it?
Well, I was the personal accountant for the owner of the Boston Celtics, for the sole responsibility was 35 bank accounts worth billions. I was head of finance for 3 different companies. One was a major charity organisation in London for the blind. I was head of finance there for 8 years. I've got a good circle of friends. I'm a very intelligent circle of friends. Yes, I think I am very with it. This is happening. It's real, and I'm saying it. I know it makes me sound mad, but I came forward 2 years ago. This is nothing new to me. I decided to come forward 2 years ago, so my videos are out there online. I've done one conference now, and I've got photographic footage and evidence, and now I've got evidence of these implants.
Well, the way that I do my interviews, which is different probably to the way that Channel 4 does them, is that I'll take everyone at face value, because you're kind enough to talk to this programme, and therefore I think I should be respectful enough to listen to what you say, to ask probing questions, but I accept, for the sake of this interview, what you're telling me is fact as you see it. Let's talk about your daughter. You believe that aliens took your daughter?
I didn't say that on TV. My daughter, she did die in very mysterious circumstances, and there are investigations going on at the moment, so I can't really say much about that, but I am trying to get somebody charged, and it was surrounded by very mysterious circumstances from start to finish.
You're trying to get a human being charged, not...
Yes.
Okay, fine.
We don't know who he works for at this stage. That's the thing.
Right, so this is important. It's important because we're talking about the death of your daughter, so therefore I'm not making light of this for one moment. But you believe that there are people on Earth who are working for aliens, and they are alien agents?
That's very possible, yes, certainly. Yeah, humans are working alongside with ETs. The government, the military are definitely 100% without a doubt. I have no doubts in my mind about that. No doubts whatsoever. And they are suppressing this. My phone has been tapped since 1983. Everything online is checked. My posts continually goes missing. I've been harassed quite a lot. You do get harassed if you come forward. And I came forward in 2011, 2nd of November. My daughter died 2nd of November 2012, exactly a year to the date. There's too many coincidences. I'm getting too many threats. My daughter said she was being threatened and she was going to die, and to be next, and lo and behold, my daughter died in horrible circumstances. I mean, it's horrendous what happened.
Can I ask?
And I was it is with the police. I was calling the police about it, and they didn't do anything.
May I ask what happened?
Sorry?
May I ask what happened to your daughter?
My daughter went out on Friday to see with her boyfriend. This boyfriend's very suspicious now. We can't get the police to arrest him or anything. Went out with a boyfriend Friday night, came back completely off the scale, a different person, and he'd been poisoning her, and there were some suspicious things going on. She left notes and told me what was happening, and we don't know who this person is.
Okay.
He's being protected by the police, basically.
Right. That's the incident as you see it, and obviously for legal reasons we won't go any further than that. But what you're telling this programme this morning, what you've said so far is that aliens have put something in your eye, and you regularly have made trips up to spacecraft where they have probed you, where they have physically assaulted you.
I didn't say they probed me, no, I didn't say that. I have no recollections of being on tape, being probed or examined, but I have had marks. But I have got plenty of memories of interacting with them, of them showing me things and teaching me things, and not being probed. So it's misleading to say that they're taking me back to the beds and doing all sorts of horrible experiments.
No. Sorry, I didn't mean probed in a sexual sense, even though there was somebody.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that, don't they?
Well, let's clarify that now. You've never had sex with an alien.
No, definitely not.
I made that very clear because that was one of the claims that was made on the documentary.
Simon Parks,
yeah, and he said he had an alien mistress. But as we listen to the story, people will be listening to you and they'll be trying to find parts of the narrative which they believe could be true.
Yeah.
Or they'll be trying to hear things where they say, well, that, fair enough, maybe that did happen. I put to you, this is just so out of this world that most people will not believe you.
It shouldn't be out of this world because it's been around a long time. And as I said, I've had experience since I was 3. And the mental attitude of people has not changed. I mean, even when I said when she called the doctor when I was 3, the doctor said, is there any mental insanity in your family? And, we all laughed at that. My mum used to tell people that, even to my boyfriends. Oh, the doctor said that to me when she was small. So even in 64 when I was 3, the doctors were saying, is she crazy? So they're saying this today. So 40, 50 years later, this is ridiculous. They're still saying, have you got a mental illness if you see something in the sky? So I found people can probably accept, oh yeah, that looks strange. But if you say to them, well, there's something or somebody controlling that maybe not from this planet, they go, oh, they get scared. And if you even say, well, it's there at the height of a plane, and if it's there, it could possibly be on the ground with occupants in it, they can't comprehend that. They can comprehend a strange light, but somebody's, there are beings in these crafts and they're coming from somewhere, so we have to put the two together,
Okay. What would you like to say to people listening to this programme this morning, listening intently to what you're claiming with great interest? What would you like to say to them?
Firstly, I'd like to say that the Channel 4 programme totally misrepresented us, and that's not what we filmed. We were led to believe they were filming a serious documentary, first of all, and it totally lies, so I'm dealing with that already. But what I'd like to say to people is a lot of this is real. A lot of it is fake, of course, and it's just getting, sorting it out in your own mind what you believe. I'm one for facts. I don't believe what people tell me. I'm factual. I love facts, I love science, and I love evidence. So this is why it took me so long to actually accept what was happening to me. But now I've got the evidence. I've got footage I've got a UFO outside my window, outside my building, every other day. And I've got photos, I've got video footage of all this. So I am getting them on film.
Email it to me. I'd love to see it. It's just Conrad, CONRAD, @bbc.co.uk.
Okay.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I've got daytime, little grey ones during the daytime outside, and lights at night. I've got black helicopters out there constantly. I've got loads of footage of that. As soon as a UFO comes, a black helicopter comes, and as I said, I'm in central London. They're very low. You can see them. How come in middle central London, looking in my window?
Yeah, but I'm in central London every single week. How come you can see them, but I can't see them?
Well, people ask me that. I don't go around asking everybody, but there is a site called UFO Stalker, and if you type your postcode in there, it sort of picks up all the sightings that are reported around the world. And if you type in my address, like London W14, you'll see all the sightings that people have reported over my building. And if you go on the street map with the little yellow man, on the Google, it's actually over my front door, some of them. So people are reporting them, people are seeing them. And I bumped into neighbours recently who actually saw the huge one in 1998, and it was just a lady I saw at the school, and bumped into her after a few years, and she said, how are you? And I told her I did the Channel 4 documentary about UFOs, and she said, oh my God, I saw one over your building, and my daughter, and she reckons her daughter was taken on the same night that we saw this one. So that's the lady that came to me after, 15, 20 years and said she saw what I've seen. So people have seen what I've seen. I just didn't ask them all, but they have been reported in my area a lot by other people. So I'm not the only one who sees them, and, friends with me have seen them, and I've had friends with me that have had experiences, and family as well, so not just on my own.
What do they want? What do they want from us?
It's a big, complicated question. It's all about DNA as far as I'm concerned, and I've studied ancient history. There are a lot of answers there in the ancient history, so I started off studying that in science and trying to find the answers. So now I'm on a scientific search myself. I know they're there. I know, nobody can tell me at this stage that this is in my head or this is my imagination. It's ridiculous. I don't even know who does. I will stand there and fight my corner, and I'll win because nobody can tell me it's imaginary. But I think that it seems that they've been here a long time. I mean, if you go back to biblical times, and even in the Bible there are references, and it seems to be something to do with the DNA.
Okay.
And this rare blood group runs in my family, like AB negative and O negative. My daughter's O negative, and it runs all through my family from my grandfather. So there seems to be some question about that, where that came from. And I know AB negative blood's only 1,000 years old, so how can this blood just come from nowhere? And my grandfather had an alien experience in an army barracks in 1920. I'm hearing now my aunties are telling me they didn't know what it was. It was some sort of light.
Marie, why don't you stay in contact with my program? And I tell you why.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm a believer. I'm very cynical.
Yeah.
However,
I can provide evidence, so you have to believe your own eyes. And you have to believe evidence.
I'm more than happy to see evidence, and I tell you something. What you claim is evidence. I am very cynical. I'm a very pragmatic person.
So am I. I'm a very sceptical person, which may sound really strange, but I am a very sceptical person. But I don't believe
I will listen to you without judgment in exactly the same way as I believe that my team have just made contact with Simon Parks, who's the Whitby Town Councillor who we've just referred to, who said he's got an alien mistress that he calls Catwoman, who he visits regularly and has sex with.
Well, that's his story.
Well, that's his story, but his story...
people have all sorts of weird stories and different things happening to different people.
I don't understand why his story is so unbelievable, yet your story is meant to be believable.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is everybody has different stories, and, different things are happening to different people. It doesn't say it's the same agenda. It could be the same race of beings, but they have a different agenda with different people. Okay. So one person does one thing, another person does another thing. It doesn't mean it's not true,
Simon Parks is going to be on this station in about 5 minutes' time, and the listeners can decide whether he should really represent the Labour Party in Whitby, if he believes he's crossing over to the other side to have
well, people have to accept this now. It's ridiculous to keep saying it's not real,
Okay. Marie, thank you so much for coming on the radio.
Thank you very much, too.